down there and tournaments with officer guests.
Uh, I'm Mike Kula, also known Mike in the audience. I'm a fourth grade teacher at August Aaron's, and I started my magic club with my fourth graders last year.
I'm Andrew Shane. I'm a math teacher at Honolulu Middle School. I started my
I've been playing for like a year now.
Awesome.
What's up?
All right.
Yeah, this building the community, having a place to come to, I think is more important than everything else. Because not everybody likes to play football. So.
Talking about community, I received lots of support from our local magic community. I'd go to the stores and I would just tell people, hey, I have this club at my school. Can you guys donate commons and uncommons? I'm just talking about patrons of the store, not even the vendors themselves. And the community would just give me as many commons or uncommons that they're not using as possible. One person in particular, Mr. James Wong, is an administrator at Kamuti Mills Christian. He donated sealed product, lots of boxes, so my students can draft magic cards and they can kind of get that idea of how to play magic that way. In terms of parent support, I would send out emails telling my students, this last Friday of the month, we're going to do a magic draft with all this product that I've got from other people from the community. And the parents would just reply back, yeah, you can, my child can stay till 5 or 6 o'clock after school. And the administration signs off on it too. So I feel all around, everybody is supportive of this, and I've never had any pushback from any direction.
For me, yeah, kind of like Mr. James here. I used to ask people at the shop for comments. Like we'll have a pre-release and like pre-release. I was like, hey, you want your comments? I'll take your comments. I would just ask everybody that was there. Also, it came to a point where I also had to buy cards out of my own money. And also, like I would ask this card shop, so like the people over at Zone, and even some of my colleagues here, I would ask them for cards as well. Also, in terms of building community, I would have we'll play Magic 2 days a week through our after-school program. And during the summer, I was thinking like, hey, I don't want these kids to forget, playing Magic, because they're probably be either playing video games or something else. So like I took the risk and like contacted the parents and told them like, hey, 2 days a week we're gonna meet at Zone to play Magic. And maybe the first couple of times I had one student show up, which is fine, better than no student. And it came to a point where like towards the end of the summer, like more of the parents started like, hey, what's the schedule in July? So then Tuesdays and Thursdays they'll come in and play, practice for the tournament. And it also came to a point where some kids, I know some parents are busy, where I took the risk and like, hey, I can pick up the child and drop him home as long as I have your permission. And this is outside of school too, so I don't know administration, know anything. It can go, I'll pick them up, drop them off, as well as I would also take them to Friday Night Magic. So like not only are they building communities within themselves, their costumes, but they're building community with like the other patrons who are playing. And at the same time, like they're learning, like the other player would just tell them like, hey, you should do this. So in a way, they're not just learning from me, they're learning from other players as well.
So that, yeah, so that brings me back to one more thing I want to mention about the importance of school clubs. When it comes to resiliency factors for students, and these are factors that, if a student has, however many resilience factors, they're more likely to succeed in life. One of the most important resiliency factors is if they feel like they have a good relationship with at least one adult on campus. So having activities like this after school, where the kids can kind of like get to know their teachers better, they can have better relationships with the kids that are interested in the same stuff as them. I think that's one of the most important things of what we're doing. So the game stores were the second pillar, and then the last pillar is really just the broader Magic community. So many people in the Magic community, I think the Magic community is great. I've spent 2/3 of my life steeped in the Magic community, and it's a great group of people. And so many people in the Magic community feel similarly, and they want to see it grow. So sometimes that'll come in the form of them donating to the Patreon. Sometimes that'll take the form of them, wanting to get involved with the clubs, right? Like all of these guys started their clubs because, they want to see the game grow. And then, just as you guys mentioned, the people that are just in the stores when the kids are there, they're all really supportive. They're all, wanting to help the kids improve. They're all wanting to make them feel welcome. So we wouldn't be able to do what we do without the support of the broader Magic community. Oh, and then one tool that has been really useful for making the project tick is I started a YouTube channel, so if you want to follow us, we're MTG808 Junior on YouTube. There's no spaces in the name. If you put spaces in for whatever reason, it comes up with something else. So MTG808 Junior on YouTube, it started out really as a place for me to just kind of put my thoughts as I was kind of thinking through the project. And then it kind of evolved into the main way that I can communicate with the kids directly. Apparently Facebook is only for old people now, so the kids are not on Facebook. But pretty much all the kids have YouTube accounts, right? So when I started putting up content, to help them get better at standard popper, they were just eating it up. So when we have tournaments, I try to take the top decks that are performing well in the tournaments, making short videos about, here's what the deck list was, here's why it's good, here's maybe some ways that it can improve, and then that way, when the kids are in club, they don't have to only go to their teacher to be like, oh, I need some help with this, right? They can just go to this archive of videos that we have on YouTube to kind of help improve their game. And then surprisingly, after we started getting like the local appeal from the kids watching the channel, there have been a lot of people starting to follow the channel from the mainland, and I've gotten in touch with a lot of people who are like, oh, I really like what you're doing. Really just want to see if we can start doing something like this in our community. So, I've had maybe half a dozen people on the mainland reach out and just ask for tips of what they can do to do something similar. And, none of that would be possible without the magic of social media. So the YouTube channel has been really clutch in helping all of this happen. Have you been watching the YouTube channel?
I've been watching it a lot, making my decks and stuff.
Yeah.
So who won the last tournament?
Yeah, so Jacob won the last tournament that we ran last weekend. And if you want to find out about his deck, there's a video up on the YouTube channel that will tell you all about Jacob's deck.
Awesome coach, right?
No, YouTube has helped us. Well, it helped me a lot just because towards the beginning, the kids will, I think maybe later as they're learning the game, a lot of when I told them about the different types of decks, control, aggro, mid range. So I had students who actually, Mr. Yu, how do I play a control deck? Or how do I play it? So there's one channel, Tulare Community College. So they had 3 different videos, like how to be a good aggressive player, how to be a good control player, how to be a good mid range player. So then that helped me teach the kids how to get better and so in my group I kind of have a range of different types of players. So I have a few aggressive players, one mid range, and I have this one control player. And control is really hard. To me, I think control is harder to play just because you got to think of all these things. And to see one of my students, take that, be able to learn how to play control is actually pretty cool. In fact, we were playing FNM and he beat me with a control deck. So damn.
Which is patience.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the club advisors, you guys are there to kind of like provide a catalyst on campus, but if they were trying to like coach each individual kid, there's only so much time in the day, there's only so much attention they can give. Having, the magic of YouTube, the magic of social media to kind of help them have tools to direct the kids towards, I think it's been really helpful. So yeah, as we just mentioned, Jacob here took down the last tournament. I think we had 8 kids at the last tournament, came in first place. Nyla there in the bottom came in second. They played a really awesome match. And then every kid that wins a tournament gets to play against me in an end boss match. And if they beat me, they get to roll a d12 and they get that many extra booster packs. So, did you have fun in your end boss match?
Not really.
Yeah. So Jacob did not win his end boss match, but I have lost. I have lost sometimes. So the kids have really big smiles when they walk away with that fistful of packs. Yeah. So as we mentioned, as Andrew mentioned earlier, what were the experiences that the kids are able to have as a result of being a part of this community, and not just a part of the youth magic community, but a part of the broader magic community. It really is just in line with everything that the Department of Education kind of sets out to have the kids do, right? They got to become complex thinkers. Magic is a super complex game. They got to become community contributors, right? Becoming a member of a community that you care about, with people that you're trying to, making friends with, trying to help each other improve. Self-directed learners, right? Giving them the tools and then letting them run with it. They have to effectively communicate. You can't play Magic without communicating with your opponent. Sometimes we have to remind the kids about speaking up when they're playing. Right? Effective and ethical users of technology, and then quality producer. So we're really trying to keep it in line with what the DOE sets out as goals. So we're winding down to the end here. Once again, we are all over social media, so if you want to learn more about the project, if you want to follow the project, you can find us on Facebook, we're on YouTube. I just made an Instagram. I'm an old man. I had not experimented at all with Instagram until a few weeks ago, but we do have an Instagram now. And then of course we're on Patreon. So if for those of you unfamiliar with Patreon, it's a voluntary subscription service. You choose how much you want to donate each month, and then you get perks. One of the perks that we are trying to roll out now, I guess the perk that we started with is these awesome looking plaques. We have 3 plaques, one up at the 3 game stores that we partner with, and if you donate $10 a month or more, you get your name on 1 plaque. If you donate $25 a month, you get your name on 2 plaques, and if you donate $40 a month, then you get your name on all 3 of the plaques. So, that, as you can see, we have a number of very generous donors. And then I've had some people from the mainland reach out and say that the project is really cool, but they don't really care about the plaques. So I did commission this amazing piece of art right here that we're going to be turning into playmats, and hopefully that'll kind of entice a broader audience to kind of become donors and support the Patreon account. So that's coming up on the horizon. Hopefully in the next couple weeks we'll get those printed and we can start mailing them out. That is the end of what we have to say. Do you guys have anything else you want to close with?
Be patient with the kids. If you ever teach young ones, be patient.
I just want to say thank you to everyone who supported us, especially my club. It's huge. And thank you very much.
Thank you to Sean for starting it.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your support. It would not be this big if it was just me. So anything worth doing is worth doing together, right? So yeah. So that's all that we have. If you guys have any questions, we would love to. Yes.
What's your deck?
The deck that I play in the end boss match. It changes, but the last couple of tournaments it's been a blue-black control deck. Blue-black is my favorite color pair, and anytime there's a good blue black deck, I kind of fall in love with it a little bit. So I'll probably be playing that one for a while. I've been trying to, that specific control deck just got a new card in the most recent set that made it really good. And so I've been trying to convince the kids, like, hey, these control decks just got really good, you should start playing them. And I think the kids are slowly starting to catch on. So, but yeah, that's my deck.
What about you guys?
Jacob, what do you win with?
I just play mono red aggro.
Blue red ornaments. I like that deck a lot.
So for Hopper, I like my mono green stompy deck.
For Popper is Red Dead.
Yeah. The red decks do seem to be the most popular with the kids. The scholarship tournament in May was won by mono white aggro. So there's a whole bunch of really powerful mono white creatures in standard Pauper at the moment. But rotation is coming up. So a bunch of cards are going to rotate out, and we're going to see a really big shakeup in the metagame. So we'll see what happens. October, the next set comes out. So we'll see what happens then. But I'm pretty sure red will still be really good. Yeah.
Also, I think the West Side has I think once a month they have standard Pauper as an FNM. So yeah, you definitely hit them up. You want to play, you get to play against kids too.
Mine is blue green.
Oh,
I like blue green.
oh, it's Merfolk. Yeah. Yes, questions?
You guys all have clubs at middle schools or grade schools?
I have middle school, high school, and elementary. So we have all three areas.
I'm specifically at a middle school.
Yeah, I'm a specific player for school as well.
Say that again.
Have you guys thought about doing like community centers?
Community,
Community centers?
I think, community centers. Oh, the only, for me,
Are you talking about like the Y and places like that?
I mean, you could like, my husband's in the military, so where we live, every neighborhood has a community center. So like, if you went out and taught some maybe the high schoolers who've been running for the neighborhood.
Yeah, I'd be open to like trying to figure out a way to partner with, if there was a community center that wanted to work with us. Right now, the choke point, well, for me, I run 2 tournaments a month, and so that's about the most that I can be putting in right now. I've had to cut back on my competitive Magic playing to try to grow the club, but our choke point right now is really just manpower. All of us kind of started these clubs because we're already working in the field of education. The 4th club advisor who couldn't be here today, he was just a member of the community. He wasn't associated with schools at all, and then I got him in touch with one of the after-school programs it's the school that my mom works at, and that I used to work for that after-school program. So I kind of like put him in touch with them. He started the after-school club. But in terms of like people in the Magic community that are interested in working with kids, most of them are already teachers. But if any of you guys in the Magic community are interested in starting a club, it can be at a community center. I know Michael Chung, who used to live here, but he moved to the mainland. He runs a Magic club through his school, or not the school, but through the public library, right? So, anywhere that'd be willing to house something like this, I'd be open to talking to them and trying to partner. Trying to do it at, just thinking off the top of my head, like one of the big difficulties would be like, because Magic is such a niche-y game, right? It has a very strong appeal to a very small set of people. If we did it at a place that didn't already have a whole bunch of kids, I don't know how many kids would come, but we'd be open to trying to figure out other ways to partner.
But I think, but yeah, I agree with Chandra. But then, like, if it's something that you all let's say you want to try out, you want to get kids involved, by all means, you need to try it out. It doesn't hurt to learn, kind of just read up on the game first, so at least you get the gist of it. Then, you know, like when we start advertising tournaments, you know, you can bring those kids out and then from there build that community where they're learning from the other competitors as well as like, whoever is there as well. Because then like I said, this game like yeah, it is really complex to learn, but once like and it's better when and learning is social essentially. So if you wanna we try it out or something like yeah.
I think the idea overall is just really great, having it at a community center. I think the limiting factor now is just manpower. I know myself, and probably these guys will agree with me, my schedule is not that I can go out to an alternative location. A lot of it is the convenience of having that after school where students are able to stay in my classroom. But like I let off with, I think that's a really great idea.
Yeah,
And
so-
we should look into it.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
if there was an individual,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Single soldiers, they play that much.
Oh, we have.
Yeah, we have.
yeah, so if any of the guys that you know that play already, if they'd be interested in organizing a club, you know, you can put them in touch with us, we can help them try to organize and then get them into the youth tournaments around here, so, yeah, we'd love to figure that out. As long as there's somebody who can be on the ground, who is familiar enough with the game to kind of get the kids started, I think that's the minimum. You know, you have a safe space, you have a kid or somebody to teach the kids, and then.
I know I have a lot of 4 chapter kids at my school, so if you know of anybody that would be interested in running that, that would be an easy connection to get. Awesome. So there we go. That's not a person to talk to. If you know anybody who's interested in starting something like this or just adding some additional manpower to the programs.
Yeah, you can get in touch with us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or Patreon. Yeah, thank you. What is your name?
Carrie?
Carrie. All right. Yeah. I'm glad you came. Thank you for coming. All right. Any other questions before we wrap up? All right. Well, thank you all for coming. Yeah. We're always happy to talk about this, and you know, just having the 7 of you here. Thank you for coming.
And 7 is better than having no one.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll talk anybody's ear off about this project. So thank you so much.
Yeah, we have staff.
Will you get a picture of all of us?
Oh, yeah. Did it? Here, here.
Hey, did any of you guys have a stamp?